Yes, this is really happening. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie, welcome back to another video, your first video on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here, and today we are looking at a controversy surrounding Hershey's. Hershey's and trans people and transphobes not being happy with Hershey's because it's a whole hot mess, it's a whole thing, right? Basically, for International Women's Day, Hershey's Canada released an ad campaign that featured a trans woman. Great, right? Lovely. We love to see trans representation. We love to see trans women being celebrated. We love to see the message of being able to be your authentic self. Unfortunately, transphobes don't like this celebration, don't like this message. So, obviously, the hashtag boycott Hershey's has been trending on Twitter. It's become a whole big deal and people are just out there being transphobic and saying horrible things. Many news places have also covered this story, some not so positive and then some more positive, and this is one of my personal favourite lines from one. Hershey's featured a trans woman in an advert and right-wing snowflakes are threatening to boycott. Beautiful. Then there are others, including Hershey's faces backlash over putting trans woman on candy bar wrapper for International Women's Day. Why does @Hershey's hate women? One Twitter user asked. I don't understand how they have gone from, there is a trans woman as part of this ad campaign.
Hershey's must hate women.
And Hershey stands by trans women in ad despite right-wingers losing their minds. It seems like anytime a company features a trans woman in its advertising, they get accused of erasing women. Then of course it wouldn't be a thing, would it, if transphobes hadn't flooded to Twitter to share their opinions about this. I don't think you're ready for some of these. We can't just tell @Hershey's that men don't belong in women's spaces. We have to speak to them in the only language they understand, same as we did with Netflix. HSY, earnings are expected on 4/27, so make your voice heard and make it sting. Hashtag go woke, go broke. Hashtag boycott Hershey's. This person's profile picture is like the little toilet door sign family holding an umbrella protecting their children from rainbow paint. No matter what him he is wrapped in, him he is not a Hershey and never will be. It's International Women's Day, not International Men Who Pretend to be Women Day. Hashtag women are born, not worn. Hashtag Women's History Month. Hashtag boycott Hershey's. Oof, some of these are just so bad. At the grocery store, giving Lindt my money because Hershey's can go pound salt. They can go pander to someone else. Hashtag boycott Hershey's. And then a photo of 4 Lindt bars. No thanks @Hershey's. I'm not a big fan of chocolate bars with nuts. Hashtag boycott Hershey's. Hashtag Hershey's hates women. Oh, I feel like they thought that was funny. Does that mean they're also boycotting Snickers? Boycott Hershey's, they hate you and they hate your family. You can do it. It's 1000% processed sugar anyway. We're not going to comment on the quality of the chocolate bar, but Hershey's, they had a trans woman in that ad campaign. You know what that means? That means they hate you, and they don't just hate you, but they hate your entire family. Don't eat Hershey's. What? Hershey's is trans friendly. Automatically means that they hate your family. Happy to boycott Hershey's. The American people are sick and tired of having woke lectures shoved down their throats. We want chocolate, not leftist propaganda. I don't know if you noticed in that last tweet there was an image, and that image showed more than just one woman. There were 5 women in that photograph. Interestingly, transphobes are ignoring that Faye Johnstone, the trans woman included in the Hershey's ad campaign, was one of 5 women that were part of the campaign for International Women's Day. As you can see in this longer ad video featuring all of the women who were part of the campaign, they were also all on the bar wrappers and had an individual ad video like Faye's one that we saw. But these videos were difficult to find, and I wonder why. Oh, it's because of transphobia. The transphobia buried the involvement of all the other women who were part of this campaign. There's Kalisha Masala, who is a gender equality advocate and founded Girl Up Quebec, an organisation that gives girls the leadership and advocacy skills to be the leaders of tomorrow. Rita Audi, who is a gender and education equality activist, and who co-founded Period Pop-Ups, a project offering pop-up pantries offering free menstrual products to help tackle period poverty. Nyla Malua, who is a climate tech researcher, who's researching and building solutions for the future, and who co-created Curiosity Podcast and interviews renowned inventors in STEM. Autumn Pelche, an Indigenous rights and water activist. She's dedicated herself to protecting water for Indigenous communities who didn't have clean drinking water. And obviously Faye Johnstone, whose video we saw earlier, who is a Two-Spirit LGBTQIA+ advocate advocate, advocated for transgender rights and for the ban of conversion therapy. So not only is the transphobia around this campaign unjustified and horrible, it also means that when you Google this campaign, instead of finding out more about all of the incredible women involved and their achievements, all you find is transphobia. Or articles about the fact that there's been an uproar because a trans woman was included in the campaign. It's ridiculous. These campaigns exist to uplift and celebrate all women and their achievements. And instead, transphobes have made sure that they've pulled away the attention because they are shouting about Hershey's is erasing women. Make it make sense. So apparently, Hershey's have erased women by including 5 women in part of an ad campaign for International Women's Day. I'm confused too. In no world does this campaign erase women. Even if the only woman included was a trans woman, still wouldn't erase women, seeing as trans women are women. But transphobes' uproar is especially ridiculous and highly hypocritical because they're shouting about women being erased, but they themselves have made sure that the other 4 women included in this campaign are not being talked about. And all of this stems from the false belief that trans women are not women. I'm not saying it can't be someone's opinion, but it is objectively and factually incorrect because trans women are women. And very strangely, but not surprising at this point anymore, I don't think much is surprising me when it comes to transphobia, there has been a response advert from a right-wing conservative place that I'm not gonna name here, but the description of their response advert is, yes, it's real, we have 2 kinds, he, him, and she, her. One of them has nuts. If you need me to tell you which one, keep buying Hershey's. But if you know what a woman is and love chocolate, go to, then there's a link that I'm not going to include here, but they're selling stuff, basically. They're selling chocolate. That's what it looks like. But by their definition there, that means that they constitute anyone without nuts as a woman. That's definitely going to include some people who aren't women, and is definitely going to include some trans women who are women, but by transphobes' definition are not. So it doesn't work factually and objectively, and it also doesn't work in line with their transphobic views. Oh dear. It's simultaneously ridiculous that transphobes are so offended that they're going to this much effort, but also kind of clever, annoyingly, because they're profiting off of their transphobia and they're making money from it. And this typically comes from the same type of people that try and claim that Big Pharma and other people are making people be trans in order to make money, when in reality the transphobes are the ones out there profiting off of their transphobic views, and trans people are left struggling with a breaking and painfully underfunded healthcare system. Nobody's making any money off of people transitioning. We're not going to watch the ad though, because it's awkward, transphobic, and as bad as you think it is, but I did want to show you a couple of screenshots, just to demonstrate the hilarious joke of the he-him bar with nuts, and the she-her bar nutless. Nutless. I've heard no nuts, but not nutless. Seriously, they're trying to shit on Hershey's, who created a campaign for International Women's Day to, you know, support women, all women, and they play on their brand name, Hershey's, to create a bar, Hershey, makes sense. And this ad in response to Hershey's has created a he-him bar, and the only person that spoke in the advert was a man. Yeah, it really feels like they care about International Women's Day, and that's why they're doing this. I just wanted to make this video to call out and highlight the shit that trans people get just for being visible, and what happens when trans people are represented in more mainstream media. The ridiculousness of transphobia becomes so obvious. And you know, if all these people on Twitter hating on the ad campaign really cared about International Women's Day and really cared about uplifting women, then there was a hell of a lot more they could have said and focused on about this ad campaign that would have actually demonstrated that. Obviously not being transphobic would have been great, but also not ignoring the other women included in this campaign just to fit with that anti-trans narrative would have been a good start too. I really wanted to end this video on some positive reactions to the campaign, because despite all of the transphobia, what we're really seeing here is women being uplifted, including trans women. Faye Johnstone herself tweeted, "The reaction to my inclusion as a trans woman in Hershey's Canada's IWD campaign shows just how far we still have to go in the fight for feminist liberation and trans rights. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not shutting up, I will always stand up for women and girls, cis and trans. Boycott Hershey's is trending because they put a trans person on a chocolate bar. I literally cannot imagine a more effing snowflake thing to be mad about. Breaking: offended conservatives call on people to hashtag boycott Hershey's because it featured a trans woman on the wrapper, which is ironic given they always cry about cancel culture. Retweet if you'll be buying a Hershey's bar to support Hershey's support of women. I was concerned that boycott Hershey's was trending, but it's just a bunch of transphobic assholes being shitty because Hershey's features a woman who happened to be trans in an advertisement. I thought it was a real issue. Boycott Hershey's, so the transphobes are out because Hershey's featured a woman in an ad for International Women's Day. Oh my lord, you want to call out the fact she's trans? Sorry, snowflakes, but trans women are women. Here's a Hershey's kiss for that. Surprised it's taken so long for far-right reactionaries to boycott Hershey's. They're literally called Hershey bars, and we all know how terrified these shitheads are of English pronouns. While the supposedly anti-cancel culture right is demanding people boycott Hershey's, I'm buying more. Hashtag buy more Hershey's. I'm gonna buy a shit ton of Hershey's today because pissing off hateful bigots is always a good time. Nom nom. I don't even need to click on boycott Hershey's to know that they must have done something compassionate that the right hates. And from Oxfam Canada. Oxfam Canada stands in solidarity with Faye Johnstone and all trans folks who are fighting for their rights every day. We recognise and celebrate the diversity of all identities and will not tolerate any hate and bigotry. Oxfam Canada stands in solidarity with our trailblazing board member Faye Johnstone and all trans folks who stand up against misogyny and transphobia every day. Our feminism is trans inclusive and we are proud to have Faye on our board. Brilliant. I think that's a lovely one to end on. So yeah, go brands, places, and people who uplift and respect trans people and who uplift and respect all women. I know it's not nice to see negative reactions to things like this, but at the end of the day, the ad was made. It's out there, it's doing its thing, it's providing representation, and no matter how loud transphobes shout, they can't undo that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go leave your comments down below. And if you do want to talk about it online, the actual hashtag is hashtag her4she. Think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.